Greetings once again. I welcome you to my YouTube channel. In this video, we'll be answering question 4. Lo is a 68 years old woman who works for Andy Sweat Traders. She is the CEO of the company and earns a gross salary of 37,480 per month. She contributes an amount of 2,614.88 cents toward her pension fund every month. Prove that her annual gross income is 449,760. The first question, they just want you to tend or to convert the monthly gross into an annual gross. We just multiply the monthly by 12 to find that answer. So we are going to say this is the same as 87,480. You just multiply this by 12. We found that our annually is now going to be 449,000 using a calculator 760. Then we move to 4.1.2. 4.1.2, it says that pension fund contribution are non-taxable. Determine her annually taxable income. This is very simple. What we need to do here, we know that the taxable is equals to gross minus non-taxable. Gross minus non-taxable. And the gross income, what we have calculated, it was 449,760 minus non-taxable. Our non-taxable here, in this case, is the pension fund, which is 2,614.88. But we must multiply this by 12 because this one is monthly. We must convert it into what? Into a yearly. Multiply this by 12. We multiply this by 12. Then from here we use a calculator. We use a calculator to say 449,760. 449,760 minus, in brackets, 2,614.88 multiplied by 12. You close the brackets. We found that we are having 418,381.44. So our taxable is going to be 418,381.44. So this is the taxable income of Lelo. Use annexure E. We show a tax brackets and the pension income tax contribution for 2022-2023 to determine how much tax Lelo paid monthly in 2023. So what we need to do, we are going to use the very same amount that we have calculated in the previous question to find the tax brackets, which is 4.1.3. 4.1.3. What we need to do with this, we go and check the tax brackets. We can see that we are now going to use bracket number 3. Brackets 3. Tax brackets number 3. So after determining the tax bracket number 3, we have to copy down tax bracket number 3 the way it is without changing anything. So we are going to say tax is equals to, tax bracket number 3 is 70,000. 70,532 plus 31% of taxable income above 337,800 francs. So you just copy down the tax brackets number 3 the way it is. Then from here, what you need to do, you come to where it's written percentage. You see the word percentage, or where it's the percentage, you just divide by 100. Off, the word off, you just open the brackets and then you also go and close the brackets. Where it's written taxable income, you write 418,381,44. The word above, just write minus. That is the only thing that we have done then. Then from here, you rewrite this with your pen to say 7532 plus 31 over 100. Now I'm mixing the black and the red together so that they can make sense. Instead of writing off, I open the brackets and say 4, 1, 4, 1, 8, 3, 8, 1,44 minus 3, 3, 7, 8, 0, 0. You close the brackets. Then we are going to use the word smash. The word smash. I write it here so that I don't forget. The word smash. So the first S represent sub. We're going to subtract here. What do we subtract? We subtract what is inside the brackets. It means that everything else, you leave it the way it is, which is 7532 plus 31 over 100 multiply by the difference inside the brackets. Difference inside the brackets is that amount minus 337,800. We find that the difference is 80. Different is 80,581,44. Then from here we go to M's, then for multiplication. Then 7532 plus. We multiply that by, we say 31 over 100 multiply by 80,581,44. We found that is 24,980,2464. It's very much important to leave everything the way it is if you're still doing the calculations. Then from here we go to A, stand for what? Addition. We add this together plus 70,532 plus 24,980,2464. I found that my answer here is 95,512,2464. Then we move to the other S. The other S and H, they move together. We just say subtract the hospital. When we talk about the hospital, we know that it's a medical aid. We talk about the subtractions of a rebates now. So now we must go and subtract the rebates. Don't forget, the rebates is determined by the age of the person. We are now going to say minus rebates. Minus rebates. So we look at the age of this person. How old is this person? She is 68 years. 68 years. So 68 years person qualify for the first rebate and the second rebate. Qualify for the first rebate and the second rebate. So what we are now going to do is to subtract the rebates, which is 95,512,2464 minus the primary rebate. How much is the primary rebate? Is 15,000. 15,714 minus the secondary rebate. What is the secondary rebate? 8,613. So let's subtract this and see what we get. 95,512,2464 minus 15,714 minus 8,613. We found this person is now going to pay 71,185, 25 cents. Now we can round off, 75, comma 25 cent. I mean, so this is the amount of tax this person is going to pay in a year. But the question is monthly tax. They want us to determine the monthly tax. So it means that you divide this by 12 to find the monthly tax of this person. We divide this by 12. After dividing this by 12, we found that monthly the person is going to pay 5,932 and 10 cents. So this is the monthly tax she is going to pay, is 5,932 and 10 cents each and every month. Moving to the next question, which is 4.1.4. Mbongiwe is a business owner and is 77 years old. Mbongiwe earned a monthly gross income of 13,123 and 28 cents. Lelo claims that Bongiwe paid tax in 2022 but is not supposed to make any contribution toward his personal income tax in 2023. Show with calculation whether her statement is correct. So now what we know is that this person is earning this gross income of 13,000. So let's convert that into a yearly gross to check how much is the gross income that this person is earning in terms of a yearly. So we are going to say 13,123.28. We multiply this by 12. We found that this person in a year is earning 157,479 rands and 36 cents. And then let's look at the tax threshold. 2022 tax threshold was at 151,100. 2023 the tax threshold is 157,900. So if you can see here, we can see that in 2022 his income is more than the threshold. That's why he was paying tax. In 2022 his income was more than the threshold. But in 2023 his income is less than the threshold. That's why he is not supposed to pay tax. Moving to the next question. 4.1.5. 4.1.5 shows that. Show with calculations how they fix the amount of 73,726 in tax bracket 3 was calculated for tax year 2023. So they want us to prove that. So how do we prove this? It's very simple. Just say tax is equals to 40,618. 40,618 plus 26 over 100, which is 26% of what? Of 353,100 minus 226,000. Then from here, you do the calculations. We know this is the same as 40,618 plus, then when we use a calculator the other side, we're going to get 33,046. Then the combination of the two is the same as 76,726. This is the tax. This is how you should have answered this question. Moving right along to 4.2. If we move to 4.2, 4.2, it says that Marshall completed his studies and started a new job. He earned a monthly gross income of 14,935 rands. He needs to buy a vehicle to drive to work and back daily. He would like to buy a small second-hand car from ABS dealership that offer a finance on vehicles. He is interested in Hyundai 2013 model that is available at 79,000 rands cash. He can buy the car on credit, where he will pay a deposit of 10,000 rands and 60 monthly installments of 1,985. This amount does not include insurance for the vehicle. What is the total? The first question, what is the total amount that Marshall will repay for this vehicle if he decides to buy it on credit? So if he are to buy it on credit, he is going to pay a deposit plus 60 monthly installment. Deposit of how much? 10,000 plus 60 multiplied by monthly installment of 1,000. So 1,000 what? 1,900. 1,985. 10,000 plus the combination of the two, 60 multiplied by 1,985, which is 119,100 rands. Then we add 10,000 from this person. At the end of these terms, will pay 129,100 rands. So you can see that this is the amount that you will pay. 4.2.2. It says Marshall claimed that he could save more than 40,000 if he buys the car for cash compared to buying it on credit. Evaluate his statement by means of calculation to determine whether he is correct. So you can see that the difference between a monthly installment of 129,100 rands minus the cash amount of 79,000, it is around, let's use a calculator here to find this. We're gonna say 129,100 rands minus 79,000 is 50,100 rands. And they say that will save more than 40,000. You can see that the claim is valid. Valid claim. 4.2.3. 4.2.3, it says that we are having question A and question B. It says a loan offer is available from Trust Bank. They offer a loan of 90,000 at an interest rate of 10% per annum compounded quarterly. The maximum period the loan is 36 months. So now they are saying 10%. Let me erase here so that I can start this from top, because I need enough space for this question. One of the easiest question, 4.2.3a. Let's check here. They are saying interest rate is 10% per annum compounded quarterly. How many quarters do we have in a year? We're having 4 quarters. It means that each and every quarter, this person will be receiving 2.5% of the interest, or the 2.5% of the interest is going to be added each and every quarter. You should not forget that a quarter is made by 3 months. Quarter is 3 months. 3 months. It's very much important to remember that. When they say compounded quarterly, we know that we're having 4 quarters in a year. We divide the interest rate by 4. We know that each and every quarter, this person will be paying 2.5%. But at the end of the year, it's going to be 10%. But when we add this don't forget, year is having 12 months. So we are going to have 4 quarters, meaning that we're going to have 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5 plus 2.5. At the end of the year, this person has paid how much? 10%. They are saying 10% per annum, per year. But for the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, and fourth quarter. So this person is going to pay 10% interest in a year. But each and every 3 months, the person will be paying how much? 2.5. This is 3 months. 3, 6, 9, 12. You should not forget. So this is how we deal with this interest rate. Each and every quarter is divided by 3 months. 3 months, the 6, 1, 9, and 12. So now the first question. The question is saying that Marshall decided to take the loan over the period of 2 years. He decided to take the loan over the period of 2 years. It now says that determine how much you will repay after 9 months. Where does 9 months ends? 9 months end here. I've made this simple for you. 9 months end here. So it means that we are going to do 3 calculations. We're going to do the first calculation for the first 3 months, second calculation for the second 3 months, and the third calculation for the third 3 months. And when we add these 3 months, they equate to what? To 9 months. I believe we are together. So the first quarter, the interest is going to be 2.5 over 100 multiplied by 90,000. 90,000. So now we are going to say 2.5 over 100 multiplied by 90,000. We found that the interest is 2,250. But at the end of this first quarter, this person is going to pay 2,250 plus the 90,000. Don't forget the 90,000. So it means that it's going to be 92,250. This happened on the first quarter. Now we go to the second quarter. Second quarter, we move with this accumulated amount. We take this to the second quarter. So now the interest is going to be 2.5 over 100 multiplied by 92,250. We are no longer using 90,000. We are now using the accumulated amount of 92,000. So multiply by 2.5 over 100 multiply by 92,250. It is equal to, now the interest is 2,306.25 cents. Then at the end of the second quarter, this person is now going to have 2,306.25 plus the 92,250, which will equate to 2,306.25 plus 92,250. It is equal to 94,556.25. So this is the accumulated amount of the second quarter. We move to the third quarter. We take this accumulated amount, we move with it to the third quarter, which will be 2.5 over 100 again, multiplied by 94,556.25. We found that the interest is going to be $2,363.91. At the end of third quarter, this person would have paid 363.91 plus the accumulated amount of how much? 94,556.25. So at the end of this term, we're going to have 2,363.91 plus 94,556.91. How much is this? It's going to be 96,920.82 cents. So this is the calculations of this question. At the end of 9 months, this person will have paid this amount of 96,920.82 cents. As long as you understand, when we deal with compounded quarterly, it's 3 months. 3 months is the first quarter, 3 months again second quarter, 3 months again third quarter, and 3 months again the last quarter. A year is having four quarters, but now they talk about 9 months. 9 months is made out of what? Made out of 3 quarters. Let's move to the next question. Question B. Question B says that Marshall is considering buying a new vehicle in a few years. He needs to take inflation into consideration. The expected inflation rate for the next 3 years is as follows. Year and inflation 2024 is 1.25%. 2025 is 0.5%. 2026 is 1.05%. A new Hyundai is currently priced at 139,800 rands. Determine how much the 2023 price of the Hyundai will change over the next 2 years and whether it will be wise for him to wait. It's very simple. Let's move it to the next year. Price 2024. We are moving it to 2024. We take the amount that we have, we grow it with 1.25%. Simple as that. So the price that we are having here, it is 139,800 rands. We just have to grow this by what? We grow this by 1.25%, which is 1.25 multiplied by 100. Over 100, I mean 139,800. So this will be the price of this car in 2024. So now we are going to use a calculator. 139,800 plus 1.25 over 100 multiplied by 139,800. So in 2024, this car will be 141,547.50. This will be the price of this car in 2024. Let's look for the price of 2025. Don't forget, in 2024, the car is now 141,000. So now we are going to grow it to what? We are going to grow it to 2025. We are no longer going to use the previous or the original price. We are using what? The new price of 2024. You should not forget that. So we are now going to say 141,547 and 50 cents plus the interest or the inflation of 0.5 over 100 multiplied by the very same amount because we are growing this thing. For 7.50. So if we check in 2025, this car will cost this amount. I'm calculating here. Make sure that you calculate with me. It's very much important if you follow me with your calculator. That's how you learn mathematics. And good luck for your exams, people. May God bless you with distinctions. 14255,24. So in 2025, this car will cost 142,255 and 25 cents. So what advance will you give, Marshall? Should you wait until 2025 to buy a car, or you should just buy a car? You decide. It's up to you, but make sure that you give the best reason. If you say that you should wait, you must give the reason why you should wait. If you say that you should buy the car now, you must also give a sufficient reason for your choice. Like, for example, you can say that it will be wise for him to wait so that he could save enough money to afford the vehicle. He can wait so that he can save enough money to afford the vehicle. But somebody can say, someone who sit at the back there will say that it is not wise for him to wait because the vehicle, it is becoming more expensive year by year. So as long as your question or your reasoning makes sense, we are going to give you marks. The last question, do not forget to do what? To subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe or to share and even to like or comment in this video. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.